Today we're talking about rookie cops who got humiliated by genius citizens. From a cop who harassed a homeless man to another who forcibly searched a man without a warrant, these are some of the worst cops ever. Let's go to the video. Imagine you're chilling out at night when suddenly out of nowhere a cop walks up to you and slaps on the handcuffs. Sounds wild, right? Well, that's exactly what happened to this one man. This cop just came up to him and decided he looked suspicious enough to handcuff. Naturally, the man was totally baffled because, well, let's be real, cops just don't cuff people for no reason, or so you'd think. This cop started rattling off reasons right away. He claimed he thought the man might be involved in or planning to rob houses nearby. He even said he was sure the man had tools on him to break into places. Listening to him, you'd think the cop was super dedicated, really caring about the neighborhood and doing his job like a pro. But here's the twist. What if I told you this cop made up the whole story because he was bored and wanted to feel important? Without any legal backup, like a warrant, this cop decided to go ahead and search the man. Before he started, he asked for the man's name. Now, the man was already in a tight spot, but he didn't let go of his rights. He kept quiet. Then the cop pulled another fast one, saying the man wouldn't get a record of a search unless he identified himself.
Section 1 Police Criminal Evidence Act.
What's that for?
Okay. You've been acting suspiciously around the area where we've had burglaries and robberies.
Oh, what, in the town centre?
Yeah.
Well, of course you do in the town centre.
Alright, and because of your acting suspiciously, I think you're here and you may have articles on you that are used in connection with theft.
Here we go.
To commit a theft, or you may have already committed a theft.
Okay. And
Alright, so it's under Section 1 of the Police Criminal Evidence Act that I'm searching you.
Yep.
Those are my grounds, that's my legislation. Alright, I'm Sergeant Mumford, collar number 79245.
Oh, we've got a sergeant.
Of Essex Police. I'm based at Chelmsford Police Station.
Yeah.
Alright, and you are entitled to a copy of the search.
I know, I just got stopped the search today already.
Oh, did you? Well,
Yep.
perfect. I will make a report of that search. You can go to any police station with your identification. You can get that at any time within 30
I
days.
want a digital, please.
I can give you your email. You can give me your email address, and I'll send it over to you straight away. That is absolutely not a problem. Just so you know, it is re-recorded for you, all right?
Yep.
Because it's only me, can you just back up onto the wall for me? Lovely. Thank you very much.
Don't worry, I ain't a threat.
No, that's cool.
I ain't got nothing
obviously,
on me.
I haven't met you before, so obviously that's why I put you in handcuffs, all right?
Yeah.
Lovely. Have you got any identification on you, sir?
I certainly haven't, no.
You haven't. That's fine. What's your name?
I don't give names.
You don't want to give me a name?
No.
Or you can't get a copy of the search then?
I can.
Not if you don't provide your ID.
How have I done it so many times before?
You're going to give me your email address, are you?
Yeah.
Lovely. Right, I'm just going to pull your hood down.
Yep.
Lovely.
If you want to pull my mask down, that's fine, but I'm going to hold my head like this.
That's fine. I need to search around your...
yeah, that's fine. You can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can check around there.
Thank you very much.
Well, you can't. Not willingly.
Well, I can. I can search.
That's why I said not. That's why I said not willingly. So. Second time today. At least you didn't put the cuffs on as tight as earlier.
Oh no. What are you doing in town this evening?
Fed up with getting stopped and searched.
Oh, well, don't act suspiciously around the town.
I didn't.
You've been seen on the CCTV paying a lot of attention to that security.
And I walked away from her because she got on the phone and I walked away in a far distance.
It's not really a far distance.
Yes, it was. It was over by the bridge, and I've only just walked back when she was in the van because I thought she was about to drive back.
You had your phone out and it looked as though you were filming it.
Well, of course I was.
Why are you filming the security guard?
Because
doing
that's
their job. Do you see how suspicious that is?
Well, I record government officials in the course of their duties, and I know they got government contracts.
She's not a government official, she works for G4S.
G4S has got government contracts.
Yeah, but she is working for a private company. Can you turn around for me, sir?
Yeah, hold on. Right, this is again, guys.
Yeah, you're being stop searched, sir.
Yeah, again.
As per my powers under the Police Criminal Evidence Act.
Well, you ain't got it, have you? Because there's no grounds. Taking videos is not grounds.
It's not that, it's that you're acting suspicious.
Suspicious? I walked away.
But the cop didn't stop there. He asked the man what he was up to and why he was out walking around at that hour. What seemed to bother the cop was that he had seen the man filming a security guard at a government building just before approaching him. He called that suspicious. But since when is using a camera grounds for suspecting someone of robbery? That just doesn't make any sense. The man tried to reason with the cop, saying that to justify a search, you need reasonable suspicion, not just suspicion in general. But what can you expect from a cop who doesn't even seem to understand the laws he swore to uphold? And yeah, it's pretty ironic. This cop took an oath to protect everyone's constitutional rights, and here he was, arresting a man just for exercising those rights. Quite the twist, don't you think?
Away from the lady or man, I don't know who it is.
Frequent robberies and burglaries
Oh, what, of course you do in the city centre.
Exactly.
Every shop gets shoplifted.
Oh,
so
okay.
of course you've got loads
So
of
why would I
robberies
not
in the
stop
area.
search you if you're acting suspiciously in
because-
an area where shops frequently get suspicious?
Because no shops have been
Can you
broken.
turn back round for me, please?
No shops have been broken into.
No, but my power allows me to search you
and
if I
nothing's
suspect
been
that
robbed.
you may well be planning to do that, don't I?
No, not at all.
Yes, it does.
No, not at
If I
all.
suspect you've got articles on you to commit theft, or have committed a theft,
but you
possession of stolen goods.
You need some type of you need some type of proof for that.
I don't. I need
you do.
suspicion.
Yeah, reasonable suspicion, and you don't have that.
There's no.
Me standing there and
I
recording.
reasonably suspect.
Me standing there recording.
And I reasonably suspect.
Oh, your officers opened them earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fine.
just
And I'll
receipts.
open them again.
Yeah.
It's fine. I can open them again. Can I not?
Yeah, it's fine.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Crikey, 2 court cases in one day. Jesus Christ.
You won't get a court case.
Oh, are you sure about this? I've already got 3 on you.
Like I say, I'm utilising my powers under Section 1 of the Police Criminal Evidence Act.
Yeah, but you ain't got the powers, that's the problem.
Okay, that's fine. So.
Illegally. Oh, you're trying to find ID? Good luck.
No, I don't.
You got my wallet?
Not trying to find ID, but I will be going through your wallet to ensure you haven't got anything there.
How can I break it?
stolen.
How can I break into a shop with that?
Because in case you didn't listen, sir, I've said it's not just because I suspect you may have stolen items on you. It's also because I suspect you may be in possession of items that you can use to commit the offence of theft.
Yeah, but what reasonable grounds do you believe I've got that on
Because
me?
you're, sir, my suspicion comes from the fact that you're acting suspiciously in an area known for
Well, the city
plenty
centre.
of
What are you trying to say?
and
It's
burglaries.
literally right in the dead on in the city centre.
It is. You're right.
What burglaries happen on shoplifting? Yeah. What burglaries?
You'll be very surprised. Sir.
Yeah.
We have lots and lots of shops.
Are you going to release these cuffs? At least you didn't do them as tight as earlier.
I know. I am going to release them. I've completed my search.
I might definitely have to go to hospital bloody now, innit?
Why?
Second time I've had tissue damage.
You just told me that my cuffs weren't tight.
Yeah, not as tight, but I can still feel it because my wrist is still hurting from earlier.
With the greatest of respect, sir, handcuffs aren't designed to be comfortable, are they?
Well, no,
You know,
obviously,
they're
but
designed to detain you and prevent you from moving your hands and accessing items I don't want you to have. Such as
where did you have to
items
come from?
using-
Malden, by the way.
No, sir. I'm based in
What?
Chelmsford.
So you was right there, and
As
it's
I
taking me
explained
this
to
long.
you when
I waited around all the way up the road because I didn't want her to get intimidated, or him. I don't know if it's her or him.
And
I didn't.
as I explained
and
to
I've got
you-
on my video. I said, "Well, I'm going to walk up here because I don't want her to feel intimidated or him." I couldn't tell. So I walked up the road.
Sorry, sir. My key seems to be stuck in the handcuff.
Since the cop couldn't find anything on the man to justify stopping him, he had no choice but to uncuff him. Really? What did he expect to find? The odds that this man was actually a burglar were slim to none. To top it all off, the cop's key got stuck and he couldn't get one of the handcuffs off the man's wrist. Imagine how awkward and frustrating that must have been. After all this, you have to wonder why the cop wasn't focusing on his actual job instead of wasting time on a baseless suspicion. If he was so concerned about a spike in robberies in the area, shouldn't he have been more dedicated to making sure the neighborhood was safe? Instead, he was here, bumbling around with handcuffs. During this whole mess, the man was filming, and the cop realized how terrible this looked on camera. He scrambled to justify his actions by apologizing for the hassle he caused that evening, but honestly, it was far too late for that. He should have thought about the consequences of his actions much earlier.
I apologise about this,
I'm
sir.
not stuck in these forever.
No, if need be, I can get someone else with another key. It just seems the key's stuck in the handcuff.
But I was going to buy some off eBay, so if you leave the key, I'll get it out and then I can take them
I'm
with
not
me.
going to give you my police issue handcuffs.
Well, you can buy them off eBay straight away, police issue.
It's entirely up to you, but I won't give you my police issue handcuffs because they're issued to me by Essex Police.
Yeah. Look up Banner Man, he dressed up as a sergeant.
Romeo 200.
Yeah, he dressed up as a sergeant outside a police station. They arrested him and then released him without charge.
I know this sounds ridiculous, but my key is stuck in my handcuffs and it won't release. Can I have someone else down here just so I can use their key, please? I'm just going to get someone else down here so I can use their key to release the handcuffs, but alright? I apologise for the inconvenience. I will continue to try and get it out. I don't know why it's stuck in there.
That's better. So pull my mask up a bit more. Obviously I did have my mask on, you watched me put it up when you turned up.
Yeah.
So the person can't say I was all masked up and
Well,
looks
I mean,
too
they
intimidating.
can say whatever they want.
Well, they can say whatever they want. All I done was come up, I saw the G4S van, I looked at it, I was like, wee, and then she was
200.
spotted me.
I've got people in the nick, I know they're doing paperwork, but can one of them just bring me a key down, please?
Yeah, because the longer I'm detained, the worse it is for you.
It's not bad. I've explained to you. You can see I'm trying to get my.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
I
not
know.
doing it deliberately, am I?
I know, but it's still detainment technically.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you got it.
I'll just make sure it works in this one now. I'm going to get either some new cuffs or a new key here. This is definitely not working, is it? I'm sorry about that, sir.
Definitely ain't working, is it? So can I get a shot? Let me get a bit of shot of that. Let's see. Oh, let me put the torch on. Oh, it's not letting me. So I just want to go over your shoulder a bit.
Okay. What's a film we trying to...
And let's talk about those handcuffs. What kind of cop can't manage to unlock them? This cop was fumbling around, unable to find the right key, as if there were a million keys instead of just a few. It's pretty embarrassing that our tax money goes to cops who perform like this. The cop did end up apologizing to the man, but an apology doesn't erase the public humiliation the man had to endure. Put yourself in his shoes. None of us would feel comfortable being randomly stopped and handcuffed by a cop in the middle of town for no reason, right? It's not just about the inconvenience, it's about maintaining dignity and respect in public situations.
Yeah, I just want to see you trying to get this off.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand what's happening, but there you go. Let me just do that.
Yeah, this is Sergeant...
79245. Base S, Chelmsford Police Station.
Yeah.
There you go, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.
Lovely.
Oh no, that skin peel was from earlier, so that weren't from these.
200 caps of the key.
We're going to go speak to her now and tell her that I'm not no threat?
Of course I'm going to. But I just need to get your email address first so I can send you a
Oh,
copy of the
yeah, you
report.
got to write out the report first.
What's your email address, sir?
Oh no, you got to write out the report first, and then I'll give it after.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Can certainly do that.
Well, I wouldn't have been so arsey with you, but it's just happened a few hours ago, literally.
I appreciate that.
And now I'm annoyed
Still,
even more.
This doesn't need me, you need to be arsey, does it?
Well, if it happened to you all the time, getting embarrassed in front of people like that, especially in front of all my neighbours. I know the town's dead.
I was going to say, your neighbours in the
Yeah,
town.
but still embarrassing for no reason. I've only been stopped like 15, 20 times in the last 4 years, something like that, for no reason. Searched,
I'm sorry.
cuffed.
I'm sorry that that's the case, sir.
Obviously never found nothing on me. I don't do drugs. Well, I do actually. Alcohol. That's technically a drug.
The worst drug out there.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind having a beer in the evening.
I don't know.
As long as you don't go too mental and then act up and be a pain in the
That's
ass.
that's the problem, isn't it? That's when alcohol becomes a problem. Is when people drink to excess.
Yep, exactly. That's why I don't ever get like that.
In the end, the man just wanted the cop to clarify a bit more about what he had been hoping to find and why he was so interested in him. Turns out the cop had been watching him on CCTV camera for a while. Did this cop really have nothing better to do? Yet even with that surveillance, it didn't justify the way he treated the man or why he decided to search him. But do you know what the worst part is? Even though the cop made so many mistakes, he kept chatting with the man and wouldn't let him go, even though there was absolutely no reason for him to stay. It was as if the cop didn't think his earlier apology mattered, because he quickly forgot about it and started insisting again that the man identify himself.
So what was it you expected to find on me, sorry?
So again?
What was it you expected to find on
You
me?
were searched because I suspected you were in possession of articles to commit the offence of theft.
Alright.
Because of how you act, especially constantly paying attention to the security van.
Yeah, I walked
looking
away
as though
from
you
it,
were
though.
Recording the security. Sir, we're watching you on CCTV.
I know,
There's a lot of
yeah.
interest in it. Hence the reason.
It's because she was on the phone and she was kept going around the corner like that, staring at me. So I walked off up towards the bridge. I knew she was calling you probably, so I waited. I didn't want to walk off and then you have to hunt me down. So I waited, but a bit further up the road. So I didn't want to intimidate her or him. I don't know if it's a young male or a female. I'm not too sure. But I didn't want to intimidate him too much, so that's why I walked all the way up by the bridge. I waited there for like 10-15 minutes, and then I just started walking this way back home, and that was when I saw you come flying up on the blues and twos.
I went flying. I was doing about 10 miles an hour through there.
Well, I still saw you. So that's why. That's why I quickly got my phone back on record again. Did she lift it? Or is she still there waiting for you? Oh no, she's still there. I don't know why G4S are so touchy.
Maybe because it's not past midnight.
Well,
They're trying to do their job and people are filming them.
well, I've been here since about 11:30. I
I
was.
think she's going to get robbed. Do you think so, you know?
Well, I don't know. I walked quite a way. She knows she's covered with CCTV. She was just in the van, and then she quickly ran into the back of the van. It's a bulletproof van. Well, I don't know. It's either a young man, he ain't got no beard or anything like that. So it's either a young man or a female. I'm not too sure. I only saw a quick glimpse of her face, or his face. I just keep saying her because, I don't know, had a bit of a feminine touch, shall I say. So, I don't know. Yeah, the other officer refused to do this earlier. He said he couldn't. I don't know. I asked for a sergeant as well, and he said no.
Sometimes the sergeant
He said, I'll do it on my laptop when I get back. That's all he said.
might not be working.
Again, the man stood his ground and refused to give up his civil rights at any cost. That's the kind of attitude we all should have. What's the worst that could happen? That the police wrongfully arrest someone and they end up having to pay out in a lawsuit? At the end of the day, more people who stand up for their civil rights like this, the fewer cops there will be acting like tyrants. The only thing this cop did right was identify himself and write down his information when the man asked him. I'm actually surprised he managed that much, given how poorly he handled everything else.
It was. There was two of them, and yeah. Yes, it was.
Provide me with your details, sir?
No, I'm not going to give no details, no.
Provide me with your date of birth, sir?
No.
Would you describe yourself as a male, sir?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Would you mind telling me how old you are?
No, that's alright.
How would you define your ethnicity? I'd describe myself as white British.
I don't know, British.
British?
Yeah.
Describe yourself as white British or just British?
Yeah, just British.
Okay.
Yeah, just British. You do know it's a criminal offence, don't you? Idling. Just to let you know.
Arrested for
Well, it's not an arrestable offence. Otherwise, I could citizens arrest you. Technically,
you couldn't.
I can.
Citizens arrest for any article offence.
Yeah, the indictable. Yeah, that's why I said that ain't an offence. Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, that ain't an indictable offence. Shouldn't leave it idling though, because technically someone could sneak up and jump in that and drive off.
You've got a thing called run law, so you can't do that. Please do think of this. You provide your address, sir?
No, it's alright.
Any telephone numbers, sir?
No telephone.
And would you like a copy of it via email?
No, that's fine.
You don't want a copy of it?
No.
No problem. Thank you very much, sir.
Can I have the number, please? The big long number that you have to write down. Yep, that's all I needed.
You don't want it emailed?
No, thanks. Just that big long number. This is what the officers refused earlier. Said they didn't have to. They didn't give me no reference number, no nothing. They wouldn't give me no record.
My car to write the number out for you, so.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna write it out? Yeah. Okay.
Would you like me? It's very long.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Write it out. Yeah. Write it out, please. Yeah. Write it out, please. Yeah. That might be better. Can't believe she actually done this. I thought she did. She was, or he. They were sitting in the shop, proper bogging at me.
She doesn't feel safe.
And that's why I walked all the way over to the bridge.
Doesn't necessarily negate her feeling or him not feeling safe, does it?
When I saw him on the phone, I knew that they were calling someone, so I thought I'd better wait. And I stood well away just in case she was, just in case she tried to leave. And she did. She got back in the back of the van, or he, sorry, got back in the back of the van, and then I saw him peeking out the window looking at me. Oh, she's doing it again. Peeking out the window. How am I making her feel uncomfortable? I actually walked away by acting suspiciously. I didn't have no mask on until now.
There you go, sir. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, we'll do.
This time, we've got a story about a journalist who was headed to the post office to film some content for his story. But the post office staff wasn't having it. They were pretty unwelcoming and didn't want him there at all. So they called the cops. The thing is, the cops should have known that they wouldn't even had to be there in the first place. What they should have done was simple. Tell the post office workers that it might be uncomfortable to have someone filming, but it's not illegal, and there's nothing they could do to stop it in a public space like that. Instead, these cops saw it as a perfect chance to strut their stuff, so they came down, trying to kick the journalist out just because the workers didn't want him around. These cops need to understand that they, let alone the postal workers, don't have the authority to kick out anyone off public property. When things got more heated, when the man started having a tough time with a rookie cop. Seeing the struggle, the more experienced cop jumped in to handle the situation. The journalist, trying to make his point, pulled out some documents to show the seasoned cop, who seemed at least willing to listen.
Alright, well, it seems like the property owners do not want you on the property and want you to leave.
Ooh. So we got a couple problems here. A, you're committing a felony right now.
How so?
I did a public records request between the county as well as the city of Covington and this postal office. This postal property is exclusive jurisdiction. It's not concurrent legislative jurisdiction, which means unless you're a federal peace officer, and if you are, then you need to tell me, you have that much jurisdiction here, as in 0%. I have the evidence on me right now if you want to see it. So, here's what I'm going to tell you. When I show you this, I need you to get off the property with that firearm because you're not allowed to be here with it. And I do mean that. I will call the FBI, I will have someone come over here, and you will go to jail. So that's how that's going to work. So I'll show it to you, and I'm going to politely ask you to leave with that firearm. Or go off the property, take your weapons off, and then come back in. You're not allowed to be here with that. So I'll show you that. Steph? So first of all, this right here is over on that wall over there. It's poster 7. It says I can take photographs or use advertising purposes. This is the rules of conduct on this property.
Yeah, you can talk to RP if you want.
This is an email from the strategic community.
Are you going to talk to RP?
Yeah, you can talk to him, I'll talk to
Sure,
him.
that's fine. May I ask your first name?
Gandalf.
Gandalf Blue. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
This is an email from the strategic
Gandalf's not your real name, is it? Because if it is,
community.
it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. So this is an email from Rod Spurgeon from the USPS.
Okay.
He works for the Postmaster General.
Okay.
He clarified that, in fact, I can be in here filming.
Okay. Hey, I have no issues with you filming, right?
I know.
I don't care about any of that.
I get that, but what I'm also saying is you're not allowed to be here with that firearm, so you're going to need to go with that.
Okay.
So the other thing is back here.
However, the rookie didn't take this as his cue to step back and chill. Instead, he doubled down, threatening to arrest the journalist for trespassing. But accusing someone of trespassing doesn't really hold up in this situation. Soon enough, the older cop rejoined the conversation, trying to clarify the legal definition of trespassing. He explained that it involves being warned to leave and then refusing to do so. That sounds about right, but the big mix-up here is that this encounter wasn't happening on private property, so those rules don't even apply.
Right here.
Yeah, I do. Okay. But they can also just say.
Facilities and services of other agencies. Unless you guys have an interlocal agreement with the Secretary of Homeland Security, that and all the other weapons can't be here. So I'm going to need you guys to either take your weapons off and go out to the car, or...
So we aren't really here to argue with you, but it does appear like the post office and people working at the post office do want you trespass. They did tell me to
They can't do
trespass
that.
you.
You can't do that.
You are being
Okay,
trespassed at this time.
let me tell you. If you do this, there's going to be a couple of problems for you. I'm going to ask, and it's up to the federal government if they want to do this. If you do this under threat, or if I don't leave, are you going to arrest me?
Yeah, you will be arrested for trespass.
Okay. All right.
You won't be arrested for trespass. You are being warned of the trespass in the beginning. And so how it works in King County, and I know you're going to say federal government and property, right? How it works and how we're trained is that you get the warning first, right? So you have the opportunity to go and leave.
Per the administrative code.
Yep. And then
468-300-806. Yep.
Then you have a copy of that trespass that just says that you're not supposed to be on the property, right?
So I do need that trespass warning card. Okay.
Yep.
They gave the journalist a verbal warning about trespassing, thinking this would scare him off, but that was too much for the cops. They have been acting on ego rather than reason for too long, so they just kept going, digging themselves into a deeper mess. One of the cops tried to justify their actions by saying they were only doing what the post office workers wanted, which was make the man leave. But here's the thing, you can't protect some people's wishes without stepping on other constitutional rights, right? The law is the law. These cops didn't seem to realize that they were actually breaking federal law and could seriously lose their qualified immunity because of it. You probably noticed this too. Cops sometimes act like the rules that apply to everyone else don't apply to them, and that there are no real consequences for their actions. I bet the look on their faces would have been priceless when they realized they were wrong. Then things took another turn when a female worker for the post office spoke up. She called the cops and claimed she was ordering the man to leave. But as far as I know, she doesn't have the authority or the handcuffs to give any orders, right? The senior cop, sensing that the journalist was probably going to sue them, started accusing him of playing games. Great. Why do they keep acting like tyrants instead of behaving like real public servants? It's time like these when you really see the difference between those who understand their duty to the public and those who only think about their own power.
Lemus, are you sure you want to do this?
Give you a trespass warning?
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you want to do this, Luke?
I am totally on board with what my recruit wants to do. So the people here just want you to probably just leave, right? That's probably just
You're
probably the
going to
most.
have to threaten me with arrest to leave. So that means the trespass warning.
Okay.
Because if I'm under duress of arrest, you've put the ring on it, you've committed a federal crime. You've committed a federal crime.
Okay.
And then you guys will have to pay for that in court. That's just how it is. But, I mean, I'm not going to go to jail over this. You guys want to do a civil
I
suit?
don't want you to go to jail. That's the thing. It's like I think. Have you asked them to leave?
No.
So okay, if you're saying no and she's saying yes, can you just ask him to leave then?
Is that a request?
We would
Or
like you to leave.
is that a request, or are you ordering me off the property?
I'm ordering you to leave.
Okay. And you guys are going to arrest me if I don't leave?
We're not going to arrest them. We are going asking you politely to leave.
No, if you're requesting.
I'm requesting. She's ordering.
Yeah, well, she's not the one with handcuffs. So here's the thing. If you guys are going to implement her will to have me off this property unlawfully, you guys are going to have to accept responsibility over this. So what that means is I need to hear from you that you're going to get a no trespass warning.
Get the no trespass warning and give it to him. Give him a reasonable time to vacate the property. All right, bam, and then we'll go from there. Cool.
And it needs to.
Yeah, it's in the back.
include-
It's in the back. So there's the clipboard, and it's inside the clipboard stuff. If not, then it's inside all the.
I need all 5
Okay.
elements
Of what?
of subsection 4 of that WAC, 468-300-806.
Can I ask you a question? Are you doing this and have all this paperwork because you wanted a police response?
Nope.
Okay.
Because I knew from tips and leads that I got that Covington had problems with understanding what the boundaries are between federal jurisdiction and,
Covington, as in police,
and King County.
and King County.
Yep.
Okay. So what exactly are we not understanding?
Look, Lou, I just showed you. You just said you're not interested in going over it. If you're not interested in going over it, that's fine.
Okay.
You think you're in the right. I know you're not. You think
Okay.
I'm in the wrong.
Okay.
We'll handle it in court.
Okay. So, I mean, for now, are you going to stay here all day,
Listen,
bothering the nice people that work
listen,
here?
Lou, I'm going to be really clear about this.
Okay.
Really
Okay.
clear. It's going to take the no trespass warning with threat of arrest upon my return to get me off this property. You're going to put a ring on it. You put a ring on it, and you're then culpable for forcing me off this property under duress of arrest.
Okay.
Now I've got an actionable cause to take the King County Sheriff's Department and the USPS to court. That's all I'm looking for here. You guys want to do that? Cool. That's fine.
So your aim is to
My aim
be
is
here.
my aim is first of all to have you remove your firearms from this property since it's an exclusive jurisdiction. You don't have authority to have it here. I know, joke and laugh now. I know you guys don't believe it. I tried to show you the statute. It's Title 40 United States Code 1315, subsection B3.
If you thought cops couldn't get any more frustrating, well, think again. Here's a story about a cop who pulled a guy over just after he finished walking his dog in the park. The guy was about to put his dog in the car when the cop came up and insisted that the dog needed to be on a leash. But it was late at night, no one else was around, and the guy was taking good care of the dog, so it wasn't causing any harm. You might wonder what the cop was really after with this leash rule, but it didn't stop there. The cop then asked the guy for his ID, claiming it was suspicious for someone to approach a car parked alone in a parking lot at night. street, even though it was clear the guy was just finishing up with his walk and wanted to go home. It seemed more logical to the cop to suspect him of trying to rob the car or something. The guy didn't want any trouble, so he just handed over his ID. But really, what kind of cop feels like they have the right to demand someone's ID just because it's 3:40 in the morning? Sure, it's not a typical time for people to be out, but that doesn't mean everyone out at that hour is up to no good. It's situations like these that make you question the reasoning behind some cops' actions. Is it really about keeping people safe, or is it more about exerting control even when there's no real threat?
No, I'm not.
Questioning me like that, I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, I know. You're asking me if I got your vehicle.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're about to go into your vehicle.
I'm not going into my vehicle. I'm putting my dog in my vehicle.
Well, I want him on a leash and to stay out of the vehicle.
Stay out of the vehicle?
Yes.
And what is this for?
I'll explain it more when you ask to put your dog on a leash. All right, man, you got some ID on?
What is the reason?
We're not supposed to be down here. It's closed from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The park, all parks in Covington, Louisiana are closed at that time.
Well, I apologize, man. I mean,
I still
like,
need your ID, man.
and what, like, so what crime did I commit?
Suspicious vehicle, in the vehicle, come walking up from somewhere you're not supposed to be. I'm asking you for your ID.
But what crime did I commit? That's what I'm just,
Look, man,
I don't want no
asking-
problems.
I'm asking you for your ID.
All right, all
The
right.
last time I'm gonna ask.
Okay.
Look, man, it's simply to identify who you are.
I understand, but,
And you need to step back over this way.
oh, I needed to,
What are you trying to get?
one of my other thing that I had my ID in, I don't have anything on me. I don't have anything on me. I have my medicine on me. That's all I have.
Okay.
And that's what I was looking for. I was going to give you my card for my medicine.
Okay. Is it in the original dispensary container?
No, I have my bags. I have my bags back here.
Okay.
I separate it. You know, because I have to separate it to where I don't smoke all of it or I don't drop all of it.
So you got the prescription and all of that?
Yeah.
As long as it's in the prescriptions that it's supposed to be in.
Well, I mean, I have the bag. It's not in the bag. It's in my pocket. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I have my card, my prescription that says that I'm able to have it.
Come hang back here.
That's what I'm saying.
Fine back here.
All right. I just wanted to make sure because I ain't want no confusion or nothing like that, you know.
As long as, I mean, you're upfront with us, you know.
Yeah, no, I ain't, look, I don't want no trouble or nothing like that. I ain't trying to deal with that.
Look, that's why we're strictly, we want your ID strictly
Right.
to just to identify you. It's 4 in the morning.
Right. I
Dog's
know
not on a leash. That's a violation as well.
Right.
If I really want to start hemming you up, my man, I can do it.
I know.
I'm not trying to do that.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do.
as far-
I'll show you the prescription of it right now.
We'll go. I'm not even worried about the prescription. Guys.
Right.
Really not. But this is why, okay?
Right.
And
I
it's
understand.
4:30 in the morning. Keep running down here at 4:30 in the morning. It is closed from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's not signed right here, but down there is a park.
Right.
So
Right.
I pull up. All the windows are down.
I didn't understand. My fault, man.
You're good. But that's why I started to amp
Right.
up there for a second.
That's with any dog. Any dog, they only know what you teach them.
A rookie cop got humiliated by a genius citizen when he stopped a man just to ask if he was still receiving any emails. The question threw the man off because the cop's words were all muddled. One moment he mentioned emails, the next thing he was demanding to see something on the man's phone. If you're feeling confused, imagine how baffled the man was at the moment. The man bluntly told the cop that he didn't like being harassed, which led the rookie to ask whether it was the harassment he disliked or just the cop himself. Man's answer? Both. Really, was digging into his email business so crucial for the cop? Despite the man's clear discomfort, the rookie went back to prying about the emails. But the man stood his ground and chose not to respond. He knew his rights. Under the Constitution, he wasn't obligated to answer any questions unless he had broken the law. Yet the cop kept pressing for his email address. This rookie cop needed to learn the basics first. You should have a valid reason for the stop before you can demand anything else. His lack of preparation and understanding of what's appropriate when questioning citizens turned this into an embarrassing lesson on respecting people's rights and proper police conduct.
I don't like being harassed by state troopers, just so you know, or any police whatsoever.
I'm sorry, you don't like
Being harassed, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
being
can
harassed.
understand that. another insurance card. That one's expired.
It's on my phone.
You can show proof on the cell phone in the state of Vermont.
Hang on, I'm recording you though.
That's fine.
So let me switch to my other phone.
Yep. And then are you still receiving mail at the...
I don't understand what you're saying.
Are you still receiving mail? Is it a current mail address?
I don't know what you mean. I'm not going to respond to any of your questions.
Okay. So
I'm not talking about anything.
The 2 questions I have to ask you is if you're active duty in the U.S. Armed Forces.
I don't understand what you're saying.
And if you are...
I don't think that's any of your business either.
So I'm statutorily obligated to ask you.
You're statutorily obligated to ask. I'm not statutory or constitutionally obligated to answer.
Okay. So you have to provide me with that information when you get stopped, though. Like, that is a requirement.
I don't have to provide you with whether I'm enlisted in the military or not.
Yes, those are the 2 things.
What statute is it?
I need your mailing address.
What statute is it?
Sir, I'm trying to explain it to you. I need your...
Tell me the statute number, sir.
I need your mailing address. I need to know whether or not you're active duty in the U.S. Armed Forces.
What's the statute?
But then the cop claimed the man's insurance had expired, even though the man explained that he had just made the payment and had the receipt on his phone, but no hard copy yet. Not satisfied, the cop went back to wanting to see the evidence on the man's phone. To comply, the man stopped filming and showed the cop what he needed. However, even that wasn't enough for the cop. He then asked the man if he had any marijuana. By some twist of fate, the man did have marijuana, but it was completely legal, and he wasn't doing anything wrong. Despite this, the cop shifted gears, saying he wanted to educate the man to avoid future issues with cops, but why create a problem when there wasn't one to begin with? He claimed he wanted to explain the law, but if he was really that knowledgeable, he should have started by explaining why it stopped the man in the first place. This whole situation was getting too much for the man. Frustrated, he reached a breaking point and told the cop he could take his marijuana from the car if he could just leave him in peace. It's a tough spot to be in. How would you react if you were in his shoes? Would you stay calm, argue back, or just try to end the situation as quickly as possible?
My phone's dead. I'm going to stop recording long enough to show you I have proof of insurance. What was that you just asked me?
So I asked you if you had marijuana.
I said yes, I have less than an ounce.
Okay. So in the state of Vermont, do you know what the storage laws are for the state of Vermont?
Less than an ounce.
So you're allowed to have marijuana, yes, but it cannot be in the driving compartment of the vehicle when it's an open container. Okay?
It's not an open container, it's a closed bag.
Yeah, but so think of it as in like a bag of chips. Like if you open a bag of chips, you can close it again. But
a bag of chips doesn't have a Ziploc bag, and it's sitting in my.
So that's still an open container.
You want my plot? Take it.
I don't need to take it. I'm trying to explain to you the law so you don't get in trouble. Like
I'm not getting in trouble anyway. This is legal. It's under an ounce. What is your point right now? You're starting to piss me off, dude.
So I'm trying to explain to you that you cannot.
So what? You smell pot on the car. I told you it's under an ounce. You told me it's in the wrong bag. I got you. Do you see smoking here? I'm not smoking.
So
I'm on my way home.
I'm trying to explain to you how you can carry the marijuana legally in the vehicle when it's an open container like that. It either needs to be locked in the glove box.
Were you not on an accident scene right there?
Yep.
Isn't that what you got going on?
Okay. So would you like me to explain the law to you or no?
I don't care about your statutory laws,
right.
your statutes.
Right,
you can't even explain to me the statute where I have to tell you where I live or if I'm part of the military. You don't even know the statutes for which you're asked to abide by.
It's Rule 80.6, sir. Okay? So I'll be right
That's a rule, not a statute.
Have you noticed how often cops who are looking to boost their egos pick on people they think don't know the law well or are too intimidated to stand up to them? Well, in this case, a cop chose a homeless man in a Walmart parking lot as his target. The cop told him Walmart didn't want him there and threatened to arrest him for trespassing if he didn't leave immediately. But you gotta wonder, why were they singling him out when there were plenty of other people around? Was it just because he was homeless? The cop thought he had picked the perfect victim, but he couldn't have been more wrong. He probably never imagined that this man, who he assumed was an easy target, would end up making him think twice about his job choices after such a humiliating encounter. Then the cop demanded an ID from the man, but the man refused since he hadn't broken any laws. The cop's response was incredibly rude. He told the man that since he was homeless, it shouldn't matter to him where in the city he was. He should just leave the Walmart. When the man decided he wouldn't deal with the cop's attitude any longer and tried to leave, the cop stopped him, said he wasn't allowed to go until he said so. This just goes to show how arrogant the cop was, thinking he controlled the man's movements like that. This whole incident really speaks volumes about the cop's character and how full of himself he really was.
Your ID, please.
Why?
Because Walmart doesn't want you here and you're refusing to leave, so they want
What
you
about
you.
every...
Doesn't matter. I'm telling you, I need to see your ID. They want you trespassed.
Why? Because I'm homeless.
This is private property.
Because I am homeless.
No, it doesn't matter if you're homeless.
Yes, it is.
No one cares.
Then why is no one else?
You're on private property and they don't want you here.
Why is no one else being told to leave?
I need your ID, please.
No.
You're refusing to ID.
Why is my name is Matthew Brown?
Okay.
Why is no one else being told to leave?
It's private property. They can do whatever they want.
He said you're not. No one is allowed to park.
They can choose whoever they want to have park here.
So then I'll go.
You can't be on Walmart property anymore.
Okay, I'll take off.
Okay, what's your date of birth? Okay. It has nothing to do with homelessness. Do you have services to you?
What do you mean?
Services?
What do you mean services?
Anything for your situation that you're in?
No, you guys don't offer anything. You say Camp Alabama.
There's nothing I can offer. I'm asking, have you reached out and got any services to help with your situation?
The city of Longview doesn't offer. I have reached out.
Okay, so why are you here then?
I have nowhere to go.
So Matthew Brown.
Where do I go?
You're homeless. You can go anywhere you want.
Apparently I can't.
Sure can. Just not on private property.
Okay, so I'm gonna...
What's your date of birth?
This recording is gonna go to the news.
Go ahead. What's your date of birth again, Matthew?
I already stated.
93. It's Matthew Brown, correct?
Yep.
What's your middle, Matthew? Okay. 3, David, 2 on you. Launch drivers.
I don't have a warrant.
Last of birth.
This is fucking outrageous.
What's outrageous? The fact that you're not wanting to follow a simple request of leaving private property?
Because I'm being told to release. I'm told to leave.
Is this your property?
I am being.
Is this your property?
Okay, you're not listening.
Is this your property?
You're not listening to anyone.
Is this your property? Yes or no?
What's gonna happen if I stay?
Property.
I want a lawyer.
No. I don't care if you want a lawyer.
Cool.
This is not your property.
I don't have to ask you questions.
Yo, you don't have to ask any questions.
You said leave.
Correct.
Have a good day.
Hold on a second.
No, he just said leave.
I don't give a shit what he told you. I'm telling you you're not ready to go. I'm waiting for your return, and Walmart wants to give you trespass paper.
Then, without any real reason, the cop started yelling at the man. It was painfully obvious to everyone around that the cop thought he was just superior because the man was homeless, which was truly the saddest part of this whole ordeal. However, the man, trying to handle the situation, asked the cop to call his supervisor. The cop refused, claiming there was no need for it. But just so this cop knows, he's actually required by his department's policy to call a supervisor whenever someone requests it, not just to decide on his own whether it's necessary or not. Instead of calling the supervisor, the cop escalated the situation by accusing the man of having an outstanding warrant for driving while his license was suspended. This threw the man for a loop because his driver's license wasn't suspended at all. Confused and frustrated, he tried to make sense of the situation, but the cop had already moved on. The cop then turned back to a Walmart employee, asserting that the employee had more authority than the man to decide who gets to stay in the parking lot or not. What kind of logic is that? Do employees now own the places they work at? The really sad part was that these cops seemed to get a kick out of making someone else's life miserable. Eventually, the cop told the man that he would just write them up with a trespassing warrant. It was frustrating and a demoralizing moment, just another example of how some cops misuse their power to bully those they see as vulnerable.
Do you understand that? So it's real clear on your camera, too.
Get
this
away.
Is private property at Walmart.
Okay, I will wait.
You're unwanted.
Right here.
Asked twice to leave.
Get your sergeant.
You're refusing to leave. Now they're going to trespass
your sergeant.
you. Once I get your return, you will be free to leave. In the meantime, you're not free to leave.
Your sergeant.
No.
All right.
I have no reason to call a supervisor here.
You are being unrealistic. Call.
In the trespass paper.
They should be. It's open. Go ahead. You have a warrant, too.
For what?
Driving suspended.
Driving suspended? My license is not suspended.
I didn't say it was suspended. Why don't you listen?
You said driving suspended.
This is probably your problem. This is why you are in this situation.
You just said driving suspended.
You have a warrant for suspended driving.
What is suspended driving?
What do you think it means? What do you think it means?
I don't know.
Well, you got the warrant. You got the charge.
For what?
For driving with a suspended license at the time.
I don't have a fucking suspended license.
He's not listening.
You can't follow simple things.
I have never had a suspended license.
You have a warrant for it. You have a warrant for it.
You are not putting it together.
I have never had a suspended.
You need to contact the place that you have a warrant out of.
Where?
Figure that out. Was Cliticast? Kitticast? Kitticast?
Cliticast?
Where the hell is
I
that?
don't know. It's your warrant, man, not mine. It's your problem.
Oh my. Where?
A Walmart employee who has more authority than you here because they actually work here can tell somebody to leave. And whether the person on their property likes it or not,
It's not a matter
that's
of
the way it
liking
works.
it or not. It's a matter of.
Tell you what, let's put it. Let's
If
put
it's
it in
illegal-
a layman's term. Let's put it in a layman's terms. Okay. Let's pretend your car, and I'm saying pretend. Let's pretend that your car is over at this Chevron on Industrial Way,
Okay.
and I decide to hop in your car.
Okay.
What? And you tell me to get out, and I say no, I'm not getting out.
How does that have anything to do?
It's no different.
With,
I'm in your property. You're on their property. It's no different.
that doesn't even make sense to what
Okay, let me
I'm
break this
trying
down.
to.
If you were able to actually...
When the cop started explaining why the man had to leave and how trespassing works, he talked down to him like he was a little kid. The thing is, the man got it. He understood that he shouldn't be in the Walmart's private parking lot. His real issue was that there were so many other people around, yet he was the only one being told to leave just because he was homeless. That kind of discrimination doesn't sit right. Adding insult to injury, the cop went on to suggest the man should actually find a job as if he knew anything about the man's life. Turns out the man actually did have a job. He worked at a company, but just didn't have enough money to cover his rent. This revelation should have made the cop rethink his assumptions, but it didn't. At the end of the day, these cops really shouldn't have been hassling the man. If they truly cared about the community and their duties, they wouldn't have mistreated him without any valid reason. They would have taken the time to explain the situation carefully and calmly, without using it as an opportunity to flex their authority and show off their power. It's a shame that instead of offering to help or understanding, they chose to belittle and discriminate.
Say you owned a piece of property. Let's say this little square right here, you actually had the ability to own.
So now you're. Okay.
Okay? Let's say you own this square of property because you can't understand the cars concept. Well, let me break it down simpler for you. You own this, and I'm standing here, and you said, you can't be here, that's my property, and I say, no,
This is going
I
to
don't
the
have the right
news.
to stand here. And if a police officer comes, first of all, I shouldn't have to call the cops.
This is going to the
But when you have
news.
to call the cops,
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
hear
you
both sides
don't
of the
understand
story.
There is no both sides of the story.
So if I call
this
the
is private
cops-
property, you're not supposed to be here. They don't want you here, and you
So-
said you're not going to leave.
When I call the
There's
cops,
no other side of the story.
when I call the cops because I'm fighting with somebody and they hit me, and you don't take them to jail, and I'm the one that goes to jail, how does that work?
Well, you probably lied, or you misled, or something happened in the investigation. That's
Okay.
what happens.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I don't know. But if you have the attitude that you have right now of just arrogance,
How is it arrogance?
I could see why you probably got hit and you went to jail.
Literally tried explaining
No,
to
you get
you.
it. You don't get it. Your brain is thick. You don't understand simple concepts.
No, you're not under.
You don't understand simple concepts.
Oh my god.
Why aren't you working?
I do work.
Okay, well, then why are you in this situation?
Literally don't have enough money to pay rent anymore.
Okay, where do you work? At where? Okay.
I'm
How
a
often
tire
do you work there?
technician. Every day. Today is literally my day off.
Why don't you camp there?
Yeah, let's tell my employer I'm homeless.
You don't think they know?
No, they don't.
How do they not know?
Because it literally happened a week ago.
Okay.
And I literally went from having a house for 4 fucking years to this overnight.
Okay.
You have no idea how fucked up this shit is.
I'm not saying I do, but what I'm saying is
I
if I
can't
was in
even
your
find a
situation,
fucking
I
place
wouldn't be
to
having
go.
this conversation.
Literally. Can't even find a place to go. When I go find somewhere
Well, why don't you ask your employer?
Maybe someone there can help you.
There's plenty of employees. There's plenty of guys that work for Weyerhaeuser that live in there.
Next up, we get to the story of a cop who got upset because a man filming passed by their police car and recorded what was inside. This bothered the cop so much that he got out of the car, chased the man down, and demanded to see his ID. The cop thought that simply because the man filmed them, he had to identify himself. But here's what really happened. The man noticed a police car parked with the officers inside, seemingly just killing time instead of tackling real issues and crimes. Curious and a bit concerned, he decided to film them to see what was going on. Catching them apparently slacking in the job really annoyed these cops, and that's why they reacted the way they did. However, this rookie cop, who was not only arrogant but also failing at his duties as a public servant, messed up big time. He refused to identify himself and instead asked the man for his driver's license. But how does that make sense? The man wasn't even driving, he was just walking by and filming. Asking for a driver's license in that situation just shows how off base the cop was.
What they got going on here? Yeah, it ain't working, they just talking. I don't answer questions. Name and badge number. Name and badge number.
Driver's license.
Name and badge number, sir.
Driver's license.
Name and badge number.
Driver's license.
I'm not required to ID. Name and badge number. Oh,
Here you go.
thank you for the call. Can you speak it verbally for the camera?
I need your driver's license.
I need your name and badge number
I just
verbally
gave
for
it
the
to you. It's
camera.
on the camera. It's on
Name.
my business card.
I need it for the camera. Name and badge number.
What are you doing out here?
I don't answer questions.
Sorry.
Have I broken the law?
Yeah, you're parking on the left shoulder of the road.
That's the side of the road. So are you.
I'm with a white male that just walked up to my unit.
First Amendment rights, sir.
We'll be out here. What's 67?
Name and badge number, sir.
What
You're not gonna. You refuse to give me your name and badge number.
What's your driver's license? Give me your driver's license.
I don't answer questions.
Okay, that's not how this works, Fred. You don't just
No, that's
pull
how
up
it
on the
works.
side of the road and just start filming us and refuse to identify yourself. That's not how this
The cop was so out of line that as soon as he heard the man didn't want to identify himself, he started crafting a story where the man was the problem for refusing. Yes, the man refused, but not because he had something against cops, he was just exercising his rights. You should have seen the look on the cop's face when the man wouldn't answer any questions and say where he lived. What did the cop need that info for anyway? Was he really planning on dropping by the man's house? The cop labeled the man's behavior as difficult, but the man really was just well aware of his civil rights. Let me tell you something, if you ever want to get under a cop's skin, just remind them that they work for you, paid for your tax dollars, and watch their reaction. The cop lost it when the man told him that. It's probably one of those things that irks cops the most. I guess because it makes them feel accountable to the public, which they are, since taxpayers do fund their salaries. And on top of all that, the fact that the cop denied working for the people just shows how deluded he was. Just because he says something doesn't make it true.
That's not how this works.
I can refuse to identify as my First Amendment rights,
Not
sir.
in the state of Louisiana.
Yes, I can.
You're not going to walk up to a police car and just start filming it and make yourself into a situation and not identify yourself. If you
I definitely will.
Put yourself into a situation, you're going to identify yourself, okay? So I need
Pin
you
pill.
to identify yourself, okay?
Pin pill.
I just need you to identify yourself.
No, you don't.
Yes, sir.
No, you don't.
Yes, sir. Where are you from?
I don't answer questions.
Where are you from?
I don't answer questions.
Why? Why?
I don't answer questions.
Why? Why are you being like this? Sir. Why did you come
This is Officer Hemphill. He seems to think I have to identify myself when I haven't broken the law.
Why did you come over? Why did you pull over on the left
Officer
side
Hemphill.
and walk up to my patrol vehicle and just start doing this?
I don't have to answer questions, officer. I'm sorry. It's my First Amendment right. I don't have to do that.
Okay. Well, you can't park on the left side of the road and just film us and just refuse to leave.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. This is public.
You can't do this.
So are you telling me I have to leave a public area? That's what you're telling me I have to do. And if I don't leave, what's going to happen?
Well, I'm going to tow your vehicle.
You're going to tow my vehicle?
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out why my workers are sitting here talking and they're not doing their jobs. That's why I'm doing this.
Okay, first off, I'm not your worker.
You're my worker. No. You are definitely my worker.
Let's get that straight first. I
Officer
do
Hemphill.
not work for you, okay?
Officer Hemphill, come on now.
Do not ever. I work for Stephen McCain, okay?
Officer Hemphill says he does not work for us.
You do pay the taxes that help pay my salary, but I do not work for you. I am not.
That's right. I'll pay your salary.
Employee, okay? Okay. So you do not pull up here and say, "I'm wondering why my employees are."
You are my worker.
I'm not your worker, okay? Let's get that straight right now. Is your name Robert Thompson?
I don't answer questions.
Why?
It's my First Amendment right not to. I'm sorry, it's my Fifth Amendment right not to answer questions. I'm sorry.
you do live in the state of Louisiana,
I kind of like this guy.
where you are required to identify yourself when you're subject to a law enforcement investigation, okay?
I'm subject to a law enforcement investigation.
You took it upon yourself to park your truck on the left shoulder of the road and approach my...
The rookie cop didn't want to back down and kept trying to shoo the man away, telling him to go film somewhere else. Poor guy, he probably thought he had some sway in the situation. Then he started talking about how dangerous it is for someone to film cops like that, claiming they felt threatened. But that really doesn't add up because cops are the ones who are armed, while ordinary people usually aren't. So how could a cop really feel threatened in this case? When he realized his intimidation tactics weren't working and then the man wasn't backing down, the cop escalated things even further. He threatened to lock the man up if he didn't identify himself. Much to his frustration, that didn't work either. All he managed to do was humiliate himself in front of a citizen who was not only smart, but very aware of his own rights.
I don't answer questions.
You can leave and do whatever you want to do, and you can send your video to Town Talk KOB. I don't care who you send it to.
I don't answer questions.
I just would prefer you identify yourself. I just find it kind of strange that you just walk up to a police car and start filming it. I need to see some sort of identification, man.
Oh, what? What happens if I don't?
Probably gonna detain you.
Huh?
I'm gonna detain you.
You're gonna detain me?
Yes, sir.
So I will be.
I'm trying to figure out how that car wound up on the shoulder of this road with a person that we can't find a driver's license.
So will I be under arrest if I don't give you my driver's license?
Just depends.
It depends on what?
If you have a driver's license, you can produce it for me, then we'll run it and make sure everything's good. But if you can't,
see, failure to ID is a secondary charge. You have to have a primary charge before you can charge me with failure to ID.
Well, now you're illegally parked on the side of the road.
That's the original charge. It's parked on the
That's charge number one. Second is failure to identify.
Okay, so if I don't identify, will I go to jail?
Yeah, resisting an officer.
You will take me to jail if I fail to identify. Yes, okay, that's all I need to hear. Thank you. I don't have it on me, but I'll give you my driver's license number.
Why not? You know, it's a Louisiana state law that you're required to carry your identification.
I don't answer questions, but I have my driver's license number for you guys, and I have my name and everything you want, if you'd like to take it down.
So why did we go to this extent on spending you provide us with your name?
I needed that for legal reasons, Officer Hemphill.
I'm just curious why.
I don't answer questions.
Driver's license number, Mr. Thompson?
It's a Texas driver's license.
How long have you been living in Louisiana?
I don't answer questions.
How long have you lived in Louisiana?
I don't answer
That's
questions.
another citable offense. It doesn't matter to me.
I don't answer questions.
Because you're living in Louisiana.
It's not citable, and I got a certain amount of time. It's not citable. Well, you should know people don't have to identify in the state of Louisiana just because you ask them.
But they do. Now, if they were walking at no reason, then no, they don't. But when they subject themselves to a criminal investigation like this, yes, you do have to identify yourself. Okay? But if you haven't committed any violation or broke any law, then no, you don't have to identify yourself.
That's some small magazines you got there. What size are those?
Thank you for noticing. It's none of your business.
No, you're right. It's a Glock, two Glock magazines.
Any particular reason why you're
I say 16 rounds, but I could be mistaken. They look kind of small.
You never know what citizens these days. Never in a million years would I have ever walked up to a cop and started filming his cop car.
Well, you know, you guys violate our civil rights all the time. It's constant.
Really?
So citizens are taking action now.
Civil rights all the time? Because you're here with us all the time, see everything we do?
Yes, you violate civil rights every time, all the time. And we just now got cameras and we can defend ourselves and watch you guys.